Were you aware that your body actually has two ages? If not, I need you to stay for this entire conversation because today I am breaking down the two ages your body has and which one is more important to your overall fitness, wellness, and health. So let's jump right into it. The two ages that your body has is your chronological age and then your biological age. Let's start with your chronological age. Chronological age is simply how many years you've been alive since birth, right? So, for instance, I am 38 years old. I have been on this earth for 38 years, plain and simple. Now, your biological age is how old your body seems based on how well your cells, organs, and systems are functioning. For example, a 60-year-old woman who strength trains, sleeps well, manages stress, eats nutrient dense foods, and stays active may have a biological age of someone who's actually in their 40s or 50s. Meanwhile, someone who is 35 but chronically stressed, sedentary, sleep deprived, and dealing with poor health habits could have an older biological age. Now, those are pretty simple definitions, but let's take a moment to further break down what determines your biological age. It's going to be things like muscle mass, body fat levels, cardiovascular health, sleep quality, your stress levels, mobility and balance, blood pressure, blood sugar regulation, nutrition, smoking, and how much alcohol you consume, and recovery and inflammation in the body. And so, when it comes to overall fitness and wellness, biological age is often more important because it reflects our energy levels, our strength, recovery, disease risk, longevity, and then ultimately our quality of life. That being said, that's why functional training, mobility training, resistance training, stress management, and nutrition matters so much because they can help us slow biological aging over time even while chronologically our age keeps increasing. A really good example of this idea is how two people can both be 50 years old chronologically, but one can still run, jump, squat, rotate, do high rocks training, throw their grandkids in the air and recover well, while the other one struggles with stairs, chronic fatigue and pain, and can't lift or throw their grandchildren up at all. Same chronological age, but very different biological age. So now that we know biological age is more often more important when it comes to overall fitness, wellness, and health, for active women over 30, biological age can be estimated and tracked through several markers, and I'm going to break that down for you right now. In my ebook, Happy Weight, I speak to active women over the age of 30 about your biological age and how it can be estimated and tracked through several markers and tools like a DEXA scan or an in-body scan, which could be really helpful in order for you to make sure that you're staying biologically youthful while you're chronologically getting older. And before I break that down further here, I need you to understand that biological age is not measured in just one number. It's more like a collection of health and performance indicators that tells a story of how well your body is aging over time. So if you're an active woman over 30, this is what you should be tracking right now. Your body composition. This is very important. This is where things like a DEXA scan and an in-body scan comes in. This is the alternative to the scale. What these scans can tell you is your body fat percentage, how much muscle mass you have, how much visceral fat you have that's surrounded by your organs in your belly, bone density, which is especially important for women to know, muscle imbalances, and your hydration levels, which is really important and more accurate with scans than with a scale. Here's why this matters. A woman can technically be thin, but still have low muscle mass, high visceral fat, poor bone density, or poor metabolic health. And so that may reflect an older biological age despite looking small, thin, or slim. Meanwhile, another woman may weigh more but have higher lean muscle mass, stronger bones, healthier metabolism, better cardio capacity, and these things can reflect a younger biological age. Now, these terms may be new for you, a DEXA scan and in-body scan, but I want to quickly just break this down for you that these are more accurate tools to use to get your body composition measurements. This is not going to be in your doctor's office or in most gyms. You might find an in-body scan in your gym. Please make sure you ask at the front desk. But I will let you know this. In-body scans tend to be way more affordable and accessible than DEXA scans. And while DEXA scans may be more expensive, they are more accurate than in-body scans. You can use a DEXA scan occasionally, about every 6 to 12 months, and you can do an in-body scan monthly, quarterly, or yearly just to track your trends. All right, so let's just say you can't get to an in-body scan or a DEXA scan. Other ways to measure your biological age will be through your cardiovascular health. Can your heart and lungs handle stress efficiently, like going up the stairs, running for a bus, or chasing around your nieces and nephews? How about your resting heart rate, your recovery heart rate, your blood pressure, and your VO2 max, which is a huge longevity marker? By the way, your VO2 max is simply how well and efficiently your body uses oxygen during exercise. Women with a higher VO2 max score often have higher biological ages and greater longevity. If you're gassed and out of breath while you're climbing the stairs or running for the bus, you're gonna have to work on your cardiovascular health. Other great indicators and markers can be, can you get up and down from the floor easily? Can you carry heavy groceries? Can you rotate, twist, and balance and stabilize while you're carrying your laundry basket? Can you sprint, jump, react quickly when needed? And are you maintaining muscle mass as you age, which is so important? This is why your functional training philosophy is so valuable. Your mobility, balance, and coordination should be increasing the progression of your workouts so that you do not lose these things over time as a part of aging indicators. It's really just about how much you're practicing these things, which is, again, relevant to your biological age. And here's your final helpful marker. I'm gonna assume most of you go and see your doctor at least once a year. Make sure you're checking your blood sugar, your A1C, cholesterol, inflammation markers, your hormone levels, how much vitamin D you're consuming, your iron and cortisol and stress levels. Make sure that you're receiving sufficient recovery and rest. A biologically younger body recovers faster, sleeps better, handles stress better, and maintains energy more consistently throughout the day, months, and years. Once you have your results, just know that you can reverse your biological aging wherever you are. This is the best thing to know because we can't do that without chronological aging. And here's one of the coolest things about biological aging. It can be reversed. So no matter what your results are, it's just an indication of where you are today, and it doesn't determine tomorrow. What you do does. So the goal is not to become younger chronologically. The goal is to improve the quality and function of the body over time by making sure that you build and preserve muscle mass. This is probably one of the strongest anti-aging tools. I talk a lot about making sure that you prioritize protein and making sure that you're doing functional strength training. Muscle helps your metabolism, your insulin sensitivity, your bone support, hormone health, injury prevention, and longevity. This is key. And this is why resistance functional training matters so much after the age of 30. You cannot skip this. Please stop doing only a bunch of cardio and not incorporating strength training. It's so important. Next, you want to reduce visceral fat as much as possible. Not necessarily to be skinny, but reducing visceral fat reduces the fat around the organs in your belly. This is associated with heart disease, diabetes, inflammation, hypertension, metabolic dysfunction, and more. I mean, the ailments don't stop. So you want to make sure you're training functionally, but also that you're being mindful of what you eat. I did a functional training video not that long ago. I'll try to link it here. If not, please check my playlist, but that includes rotation, coordination, balance, speed, agility, power, definitely groundwork if you can, and unilateral work. These things are so important as we age. Many women train just aesthetically, but lose capability over time because we're not prioritizing functional training. You also want to prioritize recovery. Recovery is where biological rejuvenation actually happens. Recovery includes sleep, stress reduction, plenty of hydration, nervous system regulation, making sure that you're including deload weeks, and mobility work. And finally, I already mentioned mindful eating, which will support your longevity over time and reduce that visceral fat. I need you to focus on adequate protein, fiber, macro and micronutrients, healthy fats, blood sugar balance, and maximum hydration. This is not about just calorie restriction. This is about having powerful, nutrient-dense armor that's going to help you to not just age, but to age well. So be sure to stop asking how skinny or slim I can stay. Can I fit into this size 4 pant, this dress? This is about how capable you can remain. How strong can you actually become? How well do you recover? How independent can you live for as long as you live? And how long can you maintain this quality of life? That's where biological age becomes so meaningful. Honestly, as a woman over 30 who strength trains, preserves muscle mass, sleeps well, manages stress accordingly, maintains mobility, and nourishes herself properly, I can often function biologically younger than someone chronologically younger than me. I love the fact that if I absolutely need to sprint and run for the bus, that I can do that, make the bus, and feel really good about all of the blood that's pumping through my heart and not being completely gassed and out of breath. I love that I can not only climb a flight of stairs, but I can skip a stair in between and add some speed to that. I love that while I'm training, I can lift a 18-pound slam ball overhead and forcefully produce power by slamming it down to the ground. I absolutely love that at the age of 38, I can still do 50 burpees. So don't delay. Get your functional training in today. Make sure that you're eating mindfully. And furthermore, make sure you're not just using a scale to determine your body composition. You actually at some point want to get a scan so that you can understand your body composition and what's actually happening on the inside of your body so that you know exactly how healthy you are. Don't forget to pick up a copy of my ebook, Happy Weight. The link is down below, and it's going to let you know everything that you need to be informed about in order to successfully measure and track your body composition over time, and therefore making sure that you're measuring your true health. And with that, my friends, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.